Hey guys, welcome to Lockhill Trading. It is Friday again, which means we are going through our charts and seeing if our Friday setup is available. So let's mark in the weekly open. Now, as you can see, we had quite a small, well, not too small, but a medium kind of size range this week. And you can see that we have gone up and created a new all-time high here at 570775. We're looking at the ESU 2024 contract for the E-mini S&P 500, and we've then since retraced all the way down. So even just from looking at the weekly, it's very unlikely, unless we go and take the high again today, that we do see our setup play out. As you can see here, the session breaks Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday trading higher, which potentially look good for then trading today, the Friday system, if we traded higher. But then CPI, we got this huge move down. So with that in mind, in order to actually get the Friday setup, what we need to see is price come all the way back up, and then we try and catch the retracement, which is not out of it's still a possibility, because obviously we've got the market open, and I think we do have a few news drivers today, but nothing major. But to go all the way up there, I'm not so sure it will occur. It may do, but I wouldn't say that looking at this right now at 6:50 a.m. before the markets open, New York time, 11:50 UK time, that this is going to be great in terms of looking for that specific Friday setup. So let's have a quick look over at NQ. And it's the exact same, look, even larger move down, and we're actually currently a down candle, black candle on NQ. Let's have a look at YM, the Dow. Now this does have potential, as you can see here. I'll start this again just in case this. So we have the weekly open, and you can see that this is looking a lot better for that potential to look for the Friday setup. And actually, in looking at that right now, it looks like we've just created that high today. So we've just taken some liquidity from the previous day's high. So this was the previous day's high. So anyone short from yesterday may have a little 20 to 30% retracement area, as you can see here. I like to make this green. Zoom in. Now I haven't looked at the lower time frames just yet. I literally just come to the chart, so I'm literally doing this on the fly with you guys. So we've taken liquidity. Let's look at the high time frame. There's a high time frame reason to move lower here, and that is the fact that we've moved up into this weekly level, weekly supply, if you want to call it that, or an order block. Just look at the 4 hour. Just gonna mark this in. So we do have a high time frame reason to go down here, and which is exactly what we're seeing. So let me just bring that in. So we've taken the previous day's high there. So what I'll do is I'll normally turn that to grey once we've taken it. We have the current intraday high there, taken, and then this move away. So this has potential to actually look for our trade. Let's make this visible on all the time frames. I'll be dropping in the Discord the Lockhill Trading Cell, which is free, guys, so please feel free to join. A trading view setup this week, and also an introduction video into what you can expect from the server. It's where I drop my setups, my crypto analysis, my ES, my NQ analysis, my DXY analysis, my bias for the week, and all things trading, really. So we've had this real nice expansion away here. I'm just going to stop this here, guys, and just go over and see what news we have or can expect today. And I'll return shortly. 8:30 and 10 a.m. news. So there's volatility that can come into the marketplace at these times. And we've already taken a nice move down here on the 15 minute. But where we're in price right now, we're really quite close to that retracement already, to the 20%. So I prefer to see us trade a little higher if I am going to get short. Just going to put in the current intraday low here. And I also want to map in today's daily open. This is kind of like the lower time frame work, which in terms of the setup, I kind of go into more detail in terms of the teaching inside the Discord. But most of how we frame the Friday setup is already on YouTube, guys. So watch the first 2 lessons on here. And guys, feel free to like and subscribe. That would be amazing if you could do that. So we've got the current intraday low. We have a low that we've just broken through there. Let's have a look what we're looking at here. I'm just trying to think about lower time frame entry here. So we have the potential for a potential 2-hour trade. Kind of doing a bit of range work here where you can see that this was kind of resistance, range highs, gone above, deviated, come back below. Is this a retracement to then go lower to carry on the potential new trend, which is high, low. This low is lower than this low, and then what you want to try to see if we do is create a lower high to continue to that 20 to 30% region, and then that will be our trade. So I'm just going to log into my trading account now, so I will return shortly. Now logged in, as you can see down here, TraderVate, and kind of like this. Let me just see the trade. And we're trading YMY because all the criteria is met here in terms of probability. We have all the things in check. We've gone into a high time from level of interest, as well as traded one side direction all week. The only thing I don't really like is the fact that the other two assets are not really in tandem with YM at the moment. Let me just go to create new order, limit, shift this over. So we're looking at 415 profit for a 175 loss. Let's pull this over for when we actually get into the trade. So last week we didn't get into a trade, and that is absolutely fine when it comes to trading. It's not about trying to make a trade every day. It's about, does my setup that I'm trading play out? And if so, we trade it. If we don't, we don't. And then over a long period of time, we analyze the results, we journal, and we see where our setup works in terms of the macro environment, in terms of what price action is doing, and we assess and we keep tweaking. I trade probably anywhere between 6 and 7 different systems. This is just one, the most kind of simple one. And yeah, I have stats on it in terms of what assets I like it in. I was looking at, let me just quickly look. I was looking at Great British Pound USD. Obviously, in terms of fundamentals, there's the election this week in the UK. And, you know, people will say, well, this is probably what's fueled this move up this week on Great British Pound, but there's more than, you know, the chart always shows you anything first, and we've been looking bullish for a while now, GBP against US dollar. But this is basically setting up in a way that we like for our Friday system as well. So let's just monitor this as well. Now, I don't trade anything Forex at the moment, but this is a nice setup so far. You can see one side delivery all week long, pretty much. After we had Monday, Tuesday consolidation, Wednesday move up, Thursday move up, and Friday is continuing to move up. And what I like here again is how we have these like clean lows here, where liquidity will likely be pulled up to from anybody in a long position all week long. Let's say it's Friday now, they've been in a long out. They say, well, you know what, I'm going to run my stock to here and let this run. I also like the fact that we have this flat candle here. So it's reason to potentially go for a short. Now, this was the previous day's high, so let's mark that in as well. The previous day's high has been ran. Now, obviously, we're very early in the session, so when it comes to high time frame, I'll be looking at, can we go and take this high as well, and then potentially turn around. Just quickly look at the 4 hour. Then we're moving into this 4 hour level here, which is where we're at right now. So there's all of the things in favor here to look for this setup and to trade a short potentially if we then get the lower time frame set up, which we don't have anything just yet. As you can see, we've been moving up pretty much all of this overnight session. So yeah, this is a potential trade that I would like to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set a few alerts. So I'm going to set one halfway between those two levels, one up here, and also one if we come back into this previous day's high. And then we'll move back over to YM. See what we've got here. I'm just going to take the session breaks off. Let's have a quick look at ES. Just in a choppy consolidation look so far today. Same with NQ, I believe. Consolidation, where YM, as you can see, look, it's had this little bit of a move up higher. So have they just moved it up there, take that liquidity before trading lower? That's what we're looking for. Now, I don't want my stop all the way up at this wick here because, you know, it's too much risk. What I've actually done is just gone down into the 1 minute and we're just placing it above the body there. So we need to be here, and it's still risking 1 to gain 2, potentially gain, if we trade to the 25%, 3, 30%, 4. So everything in our favour here. This is a high probability setup that I like. Obviously, the element that I don't like is what? Well, we're trying to fade a very bullish week, essentially. If we just take all the drawing off, we are basically trying to fade this momentum to the upside. We're trying to trade against the flow of the order flow of the high time frame. And what also you need to be aware of here is that ES and NQ have made all-time highs. YM is lagging. It is lagging behind those three equities. So it may want to catch up, and it may mean that we're really getting expansive today on the news drivers on ES. On YM. So that may be something I need to be aware of. But if it is going to retrace, I would like to see that retracement occur prior to those news drivers at 8:30 and 10. So let's see what we get then. I may be moving this slightly higher if we start to really expand, just so we can get a potentially better entry. I'm just going to map this in here as well, because I'm aware of that kind of little space in there, a void in price. And we move through it, we may want to go up to it and then move lower. So I actually like that as an entry, which just reduces the risk ever so slightly. Oops. We got there in the end. So what I'll do is I will return shortly again, guys, if we get close to our entry. If it leaves without us, then it leaves without us. And again, that will be the setup in play. You've seen that retracement to the 25% region after one side delivery all week, posting that Friday high, that weekly high, and then retracing to the 20 to 30% marker. And it would just be that in terms of this move, we didn't catch the correct execution. And if it was to go down from here, it was to go down from here. But what I don't really like is trying to chase price here when I feel like we've got a lot of opportunity to trade higher into kind of what would be, if we mark out this range that we live in right now, at the minute we've retraced to the 20 to 30% of this swing, but I'd like us to go to at least the halfway point up here, or just below it is fine, where our entry is, but we could trade to the halfway before turning around and going lower. So there we have it. I will return shortly, guys. You will not believe it, guys. I've just been recording the entirety of this trade, and for whatever reason, it stopped. I don't know if I clicked something on my keyboard, but it stopped. So 20 minutes of good chat, good talking, good discussion around the trade, which was profitable, as you can see there, but it wasn't recording. I'll show you that now, actually, just really quickly. If we just pull this to one side, you can see here, look, this was me getting into the trade, and it was 1 second long. So I was in the trade, and then the video must have stopped. So you can see the execution there. I can only apologise because I can't remember what I spoke about too much. Obviously, it was all built around the trade. And I guess this is one of the issues of not letting it run, but obviously the videos would be so long if I did. But as you can see, beautiful trade. The 8:30 news driver went in our favour. Really nice, into close to the 25% level. And notice how we also traded into the weekly level. So I spoke about on the high time frame how we have a weekly level. And although it's a weekly level, the price action will respond to it intraday around it. So it doesn't necessarily, just because it's a weekly level, have to hit the level and then it'll reject in a big way. It can maybe accumulate or create a distribution zone up here and then eventually trade lower, and then that weekly level will have been respected. It's just a higher time frame level. So if people are going to do business around it, it can take longer for it to kind of establish, let's say, a support or resistance. But beautiful trade in our favour. The news driver 8:30 sent us lower into our region where we exited. I can show you the trade. Look, the trade's there, guys. Beautiful. Look, take them on, take them off. Perfect. If I just go to trade of it in a moment, boom. So really nice, profitable trade there. If I hover over the arrows, you see the entry. You see the exit, which was at the 20%, 40051. It actually closed at, executed at, and $450. And the trade duration, by the way, look at the precision of the entry. You ain't going to get more perfect than that, guys. We just got front run initially on this move, as we spoke about. I think that's what I recorded anyway. We traded higher into the void. Beautiful. I then spoke about this void and how this wouldn't be left behind. So these are key signatures in price, guys. Very key that I use intraday with a model and a system that is effective. As we're seeing here, 4 weeks in a row. Well, 3 weeks we've got profits. 1 week was no profits. But again, that was profitable in a way that, although we didn't make money, we didn't lose money, and we sat on our hands. And sometimes cash is a trade as well, staying in with your own money. 830 dropped us down away from the news driver, and then since we've moved away. Now I also spoke about the Great British Pound US dollar, which did very similar in that the 830 sent it lower, and look how close it got to that 20% delineation. There, look. Hit the 4 hour level, took some time chopping around. Now I said that actually would probably come down, and actually I don't like the fact that we have these clean highs, so we could trade higher. So there wasn't really a setup here to get short. And I also spoke about how actually this is a really nice scalp potential short to get in a short here. The only reason I don't like it is because of the clean highs. But if you are going to risk that trade and you don't mind trading, even if there's clean highs above, if it's part of your system, you would place your stop just above, and you would look for this type of trade here at the 4 hour region. Stops just above the high, and then you'd attempt that sort of trade. It's not something I would trade. It's not part of my system, but I can see a trade around that. The context is there using the Friday model. But again, I don't really like it because you've had this big move down and then it's rotated back to the upside. And of course, DXY will have come back down to the downside, as you've seen here. But yeah, perfect trade. Obviously, ES went lower with a big wick. NQ the same. So the system, really nice on YM. Just poor recording skills from me. I mentioned also that I'm going to stop and probably do a recap at the end of the day. We may come back later. Say we trade all the way higher at 9:30 or the 10 moves is higher. Well, maybe we'll trade higher and also then get an opportunity to trade a retracement back to the 20 to 30% region as well. But it would have to be high probability setup for me to risk when we've had such a nice profitable day. $450 profit. Perfect entry. Perfect. You don't get any more perfect than that, guys. And a nice exit too, to the 20 to 30%. And the wick got close to the midpoint, the 25%, but it reacted off of that weekly level. So yeah, apologies for the video stopping. And look, I'll just take off the arrows using the function. Market open, time is 13:45 UK, 8:45 NY. A trade done prior to market open. And in this instance, the news driver traded in our favour, which is perfect. And everything was aligned in price, creating that low, lower low, lower low to kind of continue this downtrend that we're seeing here, which we're playing a retracement for price to want to trade back inside of its range after creating its potential weekly high, daily high. That's what we was forming that as. That's what we're building criteria around. We're taking liquidity. We're at a 4 hour level, which could be resistance on that higher time frame. If we look at the 4 hour now, look at how the 4 hour has respected that level. As you can see there, the blue level. It's respected it twice, one time, two times it's met resistance, and then it's traded lower. So it could be range bound now for the rest of the day, actually. It wouldn't surprise me if we were range bound for the majority of the day. So there we have it. A 450 day trading the Friday system. And if you haven't yet watched the first, second and third video, I suggest you do, because you will gain more insight into what the specifics of the Friday system is. I taught it specifically in lesson 1 and 2 what the Friday system is, how to trade it, how to set it up, how to look for it in price. And for 4 weeks now, we've kind of seen that example. Obviously, the third week was a week where we didn't trade it, nothing really set up that I would have liked, and therefore we don't trade it. So there we have it. Over $1,000 it is so far in just trading this model. And you can look back at live. I'm teaching this live, guys, and I think this is hindsight. I'm teaching it live. Obviously, we had the little error today in in the stopping, but you did see that little clip where I kind of execute into the price. You just kind of missed a little bit of source and alpha that I went into. But I'm not going to try go back what in kind of I'm doing this on the fly. I'm speaking naturally, and there's nothing edited here. Only thing I edit is put all the videos together. And because I'm mindful of this not being a 5-hour video, watching price, waiting for entry, so I try to clip it. But maybe in time, what I will do is just record the entire thing and then just clip it, maybe, just so I don't get an occurrence which just happened there. But anyway, I'm going to also show you my allotment, guys. I spoke about that I've just built a few days ago. We haven't yet sowed any seeds, but we're going to get some nice leafy greens in there. So there we have it, guys. I'm going to stop there. Have a beautiful weekend. I hope the sun comes out, and I may see you again. Well, I will see you. I'll do a recap. Go through exactly. I'll do some hindsight where we come back into the day, we go through it all, and make it really nice and clean and short and sharp. Okay, so see you soon, guys. And remember, guys, see you inside Lockhill Trading Server. It's a Discord server. It's free. I put all my analysis there and everything trade related. Come have a chat. We speak about trading, and it's a place to basically start your journey. Whether you're inexperienced, have experience, or a pro trader, I'm always looking for people to drop in there and yeah. See you soon, guys.